Do you remember the story of a client that I told you about in a few videos back? His business plateaued, he wasn't able to scale, he had a huge problem in marketing, he had a huge problem in sales, he had a huge problem in his ops. And all of this resulted to the business owner being stuck to the business 12 hours per day, every single day, and not being able to do anything else. What we did is that we help him integrate AI and systemize and automate these processes. Now he has a clear view of what's happening in marketing, and everything is automated there and it runs by itself. We can say the same for the sales as well. We can say the same for ops. It's just a matter of just moving some pieces, organizing everything, and then this resulted in him gaining more revenue. Why? Because he was actually leaving money on the table, and this money that's been left on the table, now he was able to collect it again and again. The common problem that I hear from my clients, that their companies has huge chaos. When we get on a call, I always try to ask them like, hey guys, what's the lead volume that you have? How many leads are you getting every single week, every single month? How many show up? How many don't? How much follow-up are you doing? How much follow-up is your sales team doing? And the surprising thing is that they don't have answer for that. I'll give you an example. I had a client, he had a hotel, and he didn't have any visibility whatsoever when it comes to the receptionists, the salespeople that were there. They were missing calls and missing leads just because they didn't have a Wi-Fi on their WhatsApp. They don't know even the numbers. They weren't able to pull those numbers off. This is what the prospect told me. He told me that if I'll have to go into the WhatsApp and see the conversation and see the leads, I'll have to fire the people that are in my sales team. To cut it short, he ended up installing an AI system and we figured this out for him, and it was amazing. But do you want to know what you could do for your company in order to achieve this and being able to systemize and automate your business? Let me tell you how this works. Here's how it goes. I'm gonna tell you the step-by-step process that I use for every single one of my clients. First, I have a process called maps, right? Map, M is for map, A is for automation, automate. P is for prioritize. S is for standardization. Why map is first? Because it's the most important one. First, you want to map out every single department. Let's take the sales process, for example. In sales, we know that the first thing is that the initial contact. What we're trying to do here is like we're trying to have an audit of every single step of the process. Not like, I don't care if they are getting like 1,000 leads and now they close like 100 clients out of it. I need to understand like where those 1,000 leads went in so we can see how to optimize. So we have first in the map the initial contact. Then you have sales rep. The initial contact would be like someone going onto the website. Then you have the sales rep taking in on the call, having the connection there. Then you have the pitch. Usually it's like a Zoom call or like they come in person, they get pitched on it. And then you have the follow-up. Okay? And of course, at the end we have like, is it lost or is it a win? So I'm trying to see here where people are dropping off. I'm trying to put percentages. I'm trying to get numbers and put percentages. What's happening? So, for example, for just the sake of this video, I'm gonna use like the follow-ups was at 5%. I don't know if you know this, guys, but most company doesn't do proper follow-up. The proper follow-up should be at least between 10 to 14 follow-ups, not less and not more. Why is that? Because what I'm seeing is salespeople in every given company, they only like do just 1 to 2 follow-up. Like, yeah, they just to make sure that the business owner saw that we did any follow-up. But this doesn't work. The follow-up should be filled of value. And once I have it mapped out, usually it's like more stuff. Usually like you have sales rep number 1, sales rep number 2. We see who's the most best performing. We try to see that let's send more leads to the person who's most performing, so on and so forth. So as well, at the same time, when you map it, literally you have a visual representation of your business. The second one is to automate. Okay, we don't want to automate everything. We can't. We want to automate the 4 steps. First, the lead flow. Once we automate the lead flow, the second one would be to to automate follow-ups. When I say automate the lead flow, I'm saying that we need to have a system like people click on the ad and everything, all this information gets relevant in the CRM. Like we can see what's happening, we can see that like the sales people can start tracking it, and the business owner can start seeing what's happening. Then we have the follow-ups. We need to be able, okay, this is like an AI thing as well you can use. You can use an AI system that would do the follow-up for you. For example, you set it at like after 2 days, send this follow-up, after 3 days, and it's gonna initiate back a conversation. Then the first step would be to automate the onboarding, okay? Why is it so important? When you automate the onboarding, now you have less stress. Okay, you can deliver faster for your clients, and at the same time, the onboarding process would mostly be like after usually the window is 24 hours. Okay, usually the window is 24 hours for your clients to see if they made a right decision moving with you, yes or no. So if you have an automated process for onboarding, now they feel more confident. And then you show a higher level of authority, mainly, okay? And the fourth step would be the tasks routing, okay? Like you need to have a system that automates what are the important tasks that are being pushed forward, okay? And a system that learns by itself, like what task should we focus on right now? This is I call it the CEO dashboard, the AI CEO dashboard, that helps people in the company assign tasks automatically without even me having them to assign it to people, because it can see that we have today an issue of sales. We need to allocate more of our resources, of our time in sales. We have an issue in marketing, the same. Now let's get into prioritize. So as a founder, you need to be removed from the low task activities. And how we do this is that we prioritize that what are 20% of the task that we have in this given department, generating the 80% of our outcome. And then we move on to standardized. For every single automation that you create, you need to have a clear documentation on how your team should be handling the system. Because if your team is not using the system, if your team or you are not dedicated to learn the process, to get this learning curve, to understand how this works, you will not improve as a business. And the system that was initially put into your business, into your company to help you, will fire back at you. Then once everything is standardized, you have a video, a checklist you can send to your team on how to do it, like recording videos on how to use the system. That's pretty much it. And I'm telling you, this is simpler than you think it is. Now, I know that the most important thing for you is, okay, what happened? I'm gonna give it to you. Before, the client wasn't able to respond to people in less than at least 2 hours. Now he has a system that replies to people in less than 2 minutes, which increase the qualification of the people that he's talking to, as well at the same time it increases the conversion rates on the back end. The deal closes. Now more people are interested. He's building more relationships. And then the second thing is that the onboarding is now automated. The founder and you, the founder, the business owner, the manager doesn't have to waste time on just like going and sending the client information, going back and forth. Like everything is systemized. You just like send them the document, send them the onboarding, and right now they get onboarded. As well, your team doesn't have to rely only on you. They have a system where it dictates where their focus should be on any given day, any given week, as well on the whole months. What I truly like about this is that my client came to me and he told me like, thankfully right now, I'm overloaded with clients, with leads. We can track every single person who came in and my team is not burnt anymore. Like, he was able to take an actual breathe and enjoy working again on his business. So this is it. I gave you the full step-by-step process on how I do it for my client and how you can do it too for your company. Let me know in the comments down below if this video was valuable for you.